This video is to show how to use the NOx analyzer with a scan tool. So I've got a GMC Sierra here. I want to show the exhaust pipe because anything running DEF is also going to have a DPF. If it's got a DPF, it's going to have a diffuser. And of course that is to allow fresh air to come into the exhaust, cool it off when you're doing a regen. So you need to get the NOx sensor probe, and I've got an extra long one here to go up the tailpipe. You have to get upstream of this vent. You want to be measuring just exhaust and not exhaust plus air. So if you have the short probe, you just come in through here and you loop it, because you can make it right around that corner there. So it goes in and it turns, and it's going to be upstream of that pipe. Again, I got the really long probe here, so I'm just going to run that up the pipe. So with the extra long probe, we just run that up the pipe, make sure it's centered, that it is, that it is in fact up in there and not going to be hanging off to the side, and then just connect that alligator clip so it's not going to go anywhere. Next, I use painter's tape to tape the hose to the side of the vehicle. That way, it's not going anywhere. And the painter's tape is, is kind to the paint. So I'm going to get that on there, and I'll show you a picture of what it looks like. So here's the hose on the vehicle. On this vehicle, I just looped it behind the bumper. And then some painter's tape. Get that on there a little nicer. And that's just to keep it from flapping around when I'm going down the highway. And then the hose running into the vehicle to the NOx tester. Now I'm going to Bluetooth this to my phone so we can see what those readings look like. And if you want, you can always have enough hose to get it in the front seat so you can view the meter while you're driving. I'll always take the shortest hose I can get because it'll increase the response times of the gas bench. So anyway, toss this thing in the car. We're going to grab a scanner and then go for a ride. So again, what we've done is disconnect the DEF injector, and we're going to go for a ride. The first step is going to be verify our NOx sensors. So let's do that. All right, so I've been on my road test. I got my NOx sensors warmed up. Here we are in steady state, and this is exactly what I expect to find. Is the front and the rear only different by a few parts per million. I got 177 out of the motor, 175 out the tailpipe, and that's perfectly fine, right? So I'm liking that. I also did some D-cells. If you do, as you drive, you're going to want to pull the vehicle down into a lower gear in order to engine brake. As soon as the injectors shut off, they should both go to 0, or very close to that, certainly under 10 parts per million. And they both did that, so that's fine. So it's part of my road test. And again, so now front agrees with the back, and I'm going to want to make sure that it agrees with my tailpipe reading. And so you can see I got 174 to 175 parts per million. So this is my NOx sensor verification. So if I've got SCR related codes, that's first thing I'm going to do is going to check, are my NOx sensors any good? And again, you run it, drive it, and you might be driving 30 minutes to make this happen before these numbers start making sense. So drive it, and again, inlet and outlet agree, and then they're going to agree with the gas bench. Again, if one of these is out of bounds, maybe that number's low or that number's high, or that would be the same thing, wouldn't it? Or vice versa. If any one of those two doesn't agree with what the NOx meter is saying, then you've just found your bad NOx sensor. And again, these things have got to be piping hot in order to make this happen, or for the test to be valid. So I would say 20 to 30 minute road test with a DEF injector unplugged. And then we're going to plug the DEF injector back in and go for another ride, and then see what the numbers look like. So when you disconnect the DEF injector, there's going to be varying degrees of what you're going to need to do in order to get the vehicle to stop complaining about it. And so here my code is cleared, and I still have my light on my dash, and it says, hey man, you need to service this DEF system. So I'm going to take it for a ride, see if that makes it happy, and if not, then there's some extra steps required on the Duramax in order to make this go away. Really, most other manufacturers, unless you're in a D rate for SCR, you're not going to have to mess around with anything else like this. It's going to be plug the injector back in, clear the code, and you should be all set. But here on Duramax, not the case. All right, so def injector is plugged back in, and notice I've got fantastic reduction, right? 460 out of the front, 45 out the back, or there and about, so a good 90% reduction. And I'm going to switch over to my gas bench reading, and we were on a coast down. Getting back on the throttle, and again now 45 and 50, and still going up a little bit as we continue to climb this hill. But either way, great reduction. Outlet NOx sensor matches my gas bench, and I'm happy. So this vehicle passes with flying colors. I don't have any problems with my NOx sensors. I don't have any problems with my reduction. I've got good def injection and good SCR catalyst action. So anyway, this is a vehicle with no troubles, but that is how you use the gas bench.